9 reasons why a property owner would not say yes to your amazing offer, which you think is just a no-brainer, okay? Why would they not? And if you can understand these 9 principles, you can almost work out when you're presenting an offer and then let's say they say no, you can try and work out which one of these 9 it is, and then find a better solution and a better way to present your offer. So number 1, you actually haven't pre-qualified them that they are actually in a position to make a decision. You haven't actually worked out. So when you pre-qualify somebody, it could be on the phone call. It could. So if you've done some direct-to-vendor marketing, if someone's reached out to you and said, "Look, can you tell me more about your product?" When you pre-qualify, you have to work out ultimately where are they at in terms of their journey. How motivated are they in making decisions? Where are they at in terms of buying and selling? You're qualifying them as a person in terms of positioning. Where are they at in their decision-making journey? Because some people might be only right at the very start of selling, and so the only thing they're going to accept is the asking price, because estate agents told them that they would get 200,000 when it's only worth 170. So, and it could only be on the market for 1 week, and they're here, you're presenting, and maybe you're trying to buy it discounted, so you're trying to do a 25% BMV offer, or you're trying to do a purchase lease option, or you're offering to rent it out instead of buying it. You haven't qualified them in terms of where they're at in their process. Make sense? So that's number 1. 2, have you got all the facts? Because if they're not willing to give you all the facts, how can you work out the best solution to them? So good relation. That's where kind of rapport building builds in. That's when actually getting to know people over more than one meeting is important. So how many of you out there actually present your offer on the first date? How many of you actually then go, you know what, I've got the facts, this is the best deal I can make, take it or leave it? And then they say no, and then you walk away and go, well, they just missed an opportunity of a lifetime there, and then you move on. So when you actually have any opportunity, you need to put it into your pipeline. So we use a CRM system, a client relationship manager, and we take the notes and we decide when to follow up again. And so if you can't get the full information that you need, how can you then present the offer which meets their full needs? Because if you don't meet the exact needs that they need and want, you ain't got yourself a deal, yeah? So number 3 on our list of things why they might say no to you. They are not decision makers. So you then turn up, you rock up, you're like listening to all the problems, you pre-qualified them, and then you go, right, here is our best offer. What do you think? And then they go, I like it. You spent a good hour talking about your product. You've talked about all the way you operate your business, your investors. Yeah, I really like the company, but I need to now speak to my wife. And you're like, dish. You're like, well, if I'd only known that, I would have just asked when your wife was in so I could tell you this together. Yes. So in the past, I used to spend a lot of time getting to know people, do the rapport building, so they knew, like, and trust me, so I get the right information. Then I'd say, okay, well, here's the offer, what do you think? Then they go, I'll have to think about it because I need to talk it through with my wife. And I'm like, geez. So what I've learned is if I'm ever going to present the solution, I need to make, and you need to make sure that the decision makers are in the room, because if they're not, they're always going to say no, not right now, I'll let you know. Yeah. So to try and cut the time out to save you time, because time is so valuable, you need to make sure, pre-qualify them, that when you're meeting and you're presenting the information, that you get the right people in the room, not just maybe that you. So for example, when we're buying commercial buildings, I try and get the actual owner on site, not the agent, not the person who's like their skivvy or their assistant. I always try and push to have a conversation with the top, and that takes some commitment. Because sometimes if you've got a mindset challenge, you might think, well, I can't speak to the owner because I'm talking to their staff. So I'm asking myself the question, what do I need to do to speak to the owner? Because they're the decision maker on this. So let's get to them. Yeah. Okay. Next one then is this one's a simple one. Is they might not just be ready yet, and that's okay. So a number of people I work with, they get frustrated that they go do a viewing, they put an offer in and it's a no, and they go, Tom, I'm just putting loads of offers in and it's a no, because it's all about a pipeline. That's the thing, that's the secret sauce. A lot of this stuff is, it's not now, it's later. So there's deals we put in January, February, which will come live September, October, because they're just not ready to make a decision yet. But our offer is an amazing offer. They've built the relationship up. We've spoken to decision makers, and it's just not the right time for them, and so they're not ready for that offer yet. So with that in mind, you just present the information. You and then say, when should we follow up next? When will be a good time? Next week, next month, 3 months, 6 months, and whatever. That's it. Because deals don't all just go boom on first offer. Am I right? So it's about putting your best offer in at the right time with the right decision makers, pre-qualifying them so you get better results. Okay, next on the list is you have not given them enough information. So, and this just comes with experience and time and just rehearsing, because you'll meet somebody, you get so excited, you listen to their pains, your problems, you sit there with a decision maker, you pre-qualified them, and then you say, well, I could do this and this, but you might not have given them enough information about your brand, your company, more information about, let's say you're trying to do a purchase lease option. You might say, okay, that's how, let's do a purchase lease option on this, and they might go, oh, what? No, that sounds too complicated for me. So because they didn't have enough information, it's a no, yeah? So you've got to have the learning and training to actually know how to stage a presentation on creative strategies. Because if you only give them a very limited amount and it's not said in the right way, then they're going to go no, because they don't know what they don't know, and anything that sounds a bit creative and quirky is it. So making sure you have the right knowledge, make sure they have the right information, and you can present that in a number of different ways. One of our platinum masterminders in our 12-month program, because of the information they provide, they secured 6 deals, making them over £250,000. That's right, because of the way I think that they provided the information to the owner. That's amazing. I'm so proud of them. Okay, next one. You have actually given them the wrong product, the wrong solution. So let's say you're trying to do rent to rent, and actually they need a security of selling, then rent to rent isn't going to work for them. So you're trying to present rent to rent, but really they need purchase lease option, or they need to do an assisted sale, or they need it to be sold right now, and there's you trying to do rent to rent. So why waste your time? So that comes from pre-qualifying, knowing what the motivators are, knowing who the decision makers are, and presenting the right product. That's why I like No Money Down, because you have so many different tools that you can go, how about this, how about this, how about this, how about this, how about this. And so the reason we get better results is because we haven't just got one solution. We've got like lots and lots and lots. And I like to think that with education, you would have more tools too. So by listening to the pains, listen to the motivators at the right time with the right decision maker, and you present the right product, the property product, you're going to get better results, okay? And so, for example, we have a bungalow. It's a purchase lease option. I wanted to buy it just at 25% discount initially, and actually it was on third meeting, which I soon realized actually I'm trying to solve the problem in the wrong way here. The right product is actually not right now. Let's buy it later, and I'm going to give you a little bit monthly income each month, because they inherited the house. They didn't really want to sell it right now. And so actually that was the right product for them. So with the right knowledge, I could then give them the right tools, yeah? So if you're presenting the wrong solution to the owner's problems, it's going to be a no anyway. Number 7 on the journey on this, on how to get more deals. You ready? So they're not prepared to say yes to you. Now, not everybody will like you, and that's okay. You've got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You've got to get comfortable having rejection. Not everybody is going to like me. They're going to go, Tom, I think your hair's minging. I don't like your Geordie accent. I don't like the fact you're based in the Northeast. Some of the objections I've had in business to what we present is insane. Some of them I'm not even going to repeat on this video. But ultimately, you're not going to help everybody. You have to work with people who like you for you. And as long as your business model is moral and ethical, and you're genuinely trying to help and serve, you will get people who will love you for you, and then that'll be the magnet. So some people are just not prepared to say yes to you, and you just got to accept that. Okay, some people, no matter how hard you try, no matter how amazing the offer is, they're going to go, there's something about that person I'm not too sure, and I'm going to go with somebody else. And that is just life, okay? So get used to that fear and that feeling of being rejected. If you want massive success, if you want to create 6-figure incomes and 7-figure property portfolios, you've got to get used to rejection. I still struggle with that sometimes, because who likes rejection? I don't. But ultimately, if you're coming across from a nice position, you are a decent person with a moral compass, and you're trying to solve problems in an ethical way that helps, then people will like you more than not. But just get used to that no. Right, number 8 on these reasons why people will say no to you, and think about this one too. You fully haven't identified what they need. Now this also takes practice, this also takes rehearsal, and so the way you got to do it is listen twice as much as you speak. Okay, so you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and there's a reason for it. So I ask questions, I listen and I ask questions, and I'm trying to find out what they need. So one thing I do ask, and I want to write this down, is I always ask permission. Do you mind if I ask some questions about where you are right now in terms of this property? And if they say yes, it gives me more of a position to then get into the detail. So I can ask maybe more about the mortgages, the decision makers, why are they selling, or why would they consider renting? Why would they do all this stuff? And that gives me the ability to then think, right, what is it they fully need? I can now think of my toolbox of stuff and then say, there is the offer, yeah? So there's the offer, how about this? So without listening and really delving into their motivators and identifying what they need, they're gonna say no, because you haven't fully grasped what is going on. And the last one, number 9, is it's the wrong timing. Not right now, and that is okay too, yeah? So number 9 is, so you've pre-qualified them, you've met them, you've met the people, the decision makers, you've listened more than you've spoken, you've asked open questions, you've delved into what they really need, you've identified and presented the product that they want, if now's the right time. And if it's not, you say when's a good time to follow up, and you just diarize it. You put it into your client relationship manager, and you go and back and follow up. How about now? How about now? Sometimes you've got to then go through the whole process again, because things change, motivators change, time has changed, decision makers change, all that kind of stuff can change. But it's about qualifying, following up, and by doing all of that, and knowing that Rome wasn't built in a day, that property investing is a long-term strategy, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. But if you do this long-term and you're in for the long-term, you will create financial freedom, you will create assets, which is an amazing asset-backed business, and you can do more of this stuff. And that's some of the 9 top tips that come in from my head when I'm looking at deals with direct-to-vendor and agents. So imagine you've got those written down. Imagine spending maybe 4 days doing this stuff, and also raise money. That will help you create better results, better cash flow, better wealth for you and your family.